Can sleep supersize your business? Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's talk about this today. We are focusing on the physical aspects, physical health and well-being of our business this month. And one of the topics that we talk about in the Be a Better You annual challenge is sleep and the importance of sleep. Guess what? It's even more important. Well, I guess your life is more important than your business, but it's just as important for growing and building and supersizing our business as it is for us personally to stay healthy by getting enough sleep or by getting some sleep. I always say to the people is, when in doubt, sleep on it. If you're tired, sleep on it. If you're worn out or stressed out or you don't know what to do, sleep on it, because the next step is always available to us. A lot of times we're blocking it and we won't let ourselves see it. So there's a lot of ways that sleep, you and the rest of the people in your organization can get better results by being well rested. When we're well rested, we're more rational, we're less emotional, we're more apt to look at the different areas and aspects and possibilities to solve problems and find solutions to things, which if you're running a business, come on, problems are our life. All we do is day in and day out solve problems and make things work more smoothly. So today we're going to do a couple of things. Number one, we are going to ask ourselves, and I want you to be brutally honest and share in the comments below, how many hours on average sleep do you get a night? Now, if you sleep on weekends, that doesn't count. If it's during the week, when you're working, when you're building your business, what's the average amount of sleep that you get? I'd say per 24-hour period. Me, it's 6 to 7 hours. I'd like it to be 8, but I live in a chaotic household with my chaotic family who I love and adore, and I wouldn't change it for the world. But that means I don't necessarily get a nice solid 8-hour block of sleep, which the little people I live with should be getting 12 hours sleep, so they don't get enough either. So we're always, which is probably part of why we live in a chaotic household, which is true and happens in our businesses as well. If you are driving your people and yourself to work long, hard hours, it might seem like a push. Like I will admit I was very guilty of this in my 20s and 30s and even into my 40s. I got maybe 4 hours sleep a night. If I got 4 hours sleep a night, I thought it was a good day. Guess what? I wasn't my best self. I wasn't showing up. I definitely wasn't healthy. I wasn't taking care of myself, because taking care of ourselves, which is, you got to do that before you can take care of anybody or anything else. That includes the people we love and care about and our family. And person we should love the most is ourselves. So if you're not taking care of yourself by sleeping, eating right, moving, getting some exercise, which we haven't even talked about yet, then you're doing yourself and your business a disservice. And it's pretty hard to supersize anything if you're not running on how many ever cylinders you have. Some people have 4, some have 6, some have 8, some have 12, and some probably even have multiples of that. So that's the first thing. How many hours of sleep on average are you sleeping right now? And don't lie, because then you're just lying to yourself. Just what is it? Because once we know what actually is, then we can decide if that's okay for us or not. If you're doing a launch, if you're putting out a new product or service, if you're problem solving or troubleshooting something, maybe there's a couple of nights when you lose sleep. But overall, and so if it's 4 right now or 3 or 2, just write it down and be honest about that. And then the second thing is, share in the comments below something that helps you to get the rest you need to get a good night's sleep. We all have little things. My 4-year-old granddaughter discovered sleep masks when she was 2. Somebody gave her a pajama set with a sleep mask, and ever since then, she has loved them. I think she's got at least a half a dozen of them now. She doesn't always wear them, but she does like to wear them. Like if she's sleeping in her own little bed, she likes to wear her little sleep masks to bed, which is freaking adorable. I'm not a sleep mask person. I'm just not. Some people are, some people aren't. But if that helps you sleep, do it. I am a room darkening curtain person, because I worked shifts my first job out of college, and I learned that if you got to sleep during the day when everybody else is awake, it messes with your circadian rhythm, and you have to find tools and tips and strategies to help with that. So I highly recommend sleep darkening curtains if you work different hours than the rest of the world does, which a lot of the world does. Some other things that I do is I have to have a very cozy place to sleep. Cozy bedding, cozy blankets, soft everything, super soft, cozy pajamas. I do meditations and hypnosis. I have that playing in the background when I sleep. Some people like white noise. I guess it's my white noise. But I use an app called Believe from Victoria Gallagher, which is absolutely freaking amazing. I've been using it, I think, 602 days in a row today. So I think I would recommend that. I don't recommend many things because I think it's not the best thing to do, but that is one thing I absolutely love. And it's, I think, one of my secret weapons to getting the best rest I can in whatever amount of time I have. Maybe you're a napper. I'm definitely not a napper, but I did admit in the last video for the annual challenge that I have a tendency to nod off. If the girls are watching something that I've seen before or that isn't interesting, and usually most of children's television isn't super interesting to me, I will catch myself waking up and so that means I've obviously nodded off. And soft pajamas, I don't know if I shared that. And then water by my bed. So share one thing like that you do that helps you to get a good night's sleep. That's it. That's what we're talking about today. Why? Because when you bring your best self to your business, then you can grow and build and supersize it. And when you encourage and set that example for other people in your organization, all of a sudden your culture changes. All of a sudden you're all a lot more productive and you're actually focusing your energy in a positive way to supersize and grow your business. All right, love to know your take on this subject. Share in the comments below. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, have an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.